Hello everyone, and welcome to my Y&R Homies channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Y&R recap: Nate consents to let Audra question Holden for information, and Sharon is desperate to save poisoned Phyllis. Monday, March 10, 2025, on Young and Restless Today, Nate fears that probing Damien's life would alienate him. Billy and Nick ponder what might have happened to Sharon and Phyllis, and Sharon and Phyllis quarrel over riddles. Recap for Friday: Jack assumed Summer wanted Kyle back, Damien told Holden to avoid Audra, and Nate asked Audra what was going on with Holden. Nate asks Audra what's happening with Holden at the GCAC. It's all him, she claims. He wants her to be his buddy because he says he needs one. He is the only one who can tell them more about Damien, but she isn't interested. She can tell him anything, Nate says, believing her. Although he realizes it might be difficult to be honest about an old passion, he still has faith in her. When they get back to the penthouse, Nate and Audra discuss Amy's strength. She's hoping his friend, a doctor, can assist her. They sit and drink, and she tells him that Holden told her they were friends before he started working for him. She feels that things aren't going well, and Holden is angry with his friend. Damien also seems to have a terrible temper. He informs her that Lily has also been digging, and he fears Damien will discover this and flee. Amy would suffer from that. Lily responds that Damien is only a CEO and not a business owner when Audra inquires about what she has learnt. They question why he made that untruth. It might blow up everything, Hastings fears, since too many people are asking too many questions. She implies that he is too emotionally committed to have a clear perspective. Even if he isn't ready, Nate wants to trust him. He's still holding out hope for a genuine bond between Amy and her son, as well as for him to have a brother. Although he is wary, Audra believes he should trust his gut. He is certain that he has caught glimmers of his brother's goodness. She advises them to get more knowledge before allowing him to become more involved in their life. He can see why everyone is on edge, but Damien has left Amy feeling optimistic as well. He remains committed to bringing about the reconciliation. Nate must have faith that his half-brother will bring joy to Amy's last days. He wants to think they can be a true family, but perhaps that's too idealistic. She simply fears that Damien may not be who he believes him to be, and she does not want him to suffer harm. She believes she should continue her investigation because of this, and she swears to keep her identity private. She should stop attempting to extract information from Holden, according to Nate. Audra believes that he could feel envious, which would demonstrate the significance of their connection. He hopes she can tell it without him having to be envious. They share a kiss. Pizza is what she wants. He is in. Holden texts her to apologize for leaving her and to say that he still needs a buddy as she grabs her phone. Audra queries Nate on whether or not she ought to accept him as a friend. Nate responds with a text message on her phone, offering to be his buddy. As they work out in the clinic basement, Phyllis accuses Sharon of making a bucket list. Despite Sharon's insistence that she isn't, the redhead makes assumptions about what may be on it. It would most likely be her final hug with her children. She would also put that on her list. Since Sharon didn't get to spend those times with them after pretending to be dead, that makes sense to her. Phyllis doesn't believe that bringing that up was polite. She says that in order to show everyone how charitable and pious Sharon is, she should make giving away everything on her bucket list. Both of them would go with a bang. Phyllis taunts her by claiming that she is certain Sharon would want Nick to save her one final time. Sharon is certain that she would also want him to storm through the door at this very moment. Sharon keeps trying to solve the riddles as Phyllis makes lunges. Phyllis doesn't see why she should take part. They quarrel about the purpose of everything, and Sharon begs her to assist in deciphering. Phyllis taps her head and claims she already knows the answer but won't share it with her. She isn't providing Sharon with the solution if they are competing with one another. She is honest enough to say that if it came to it, she would abandon her there to perish. Sharon advises her to mature and quit being like the cruel girl. They could be at danger of dying. Phyllis responds that forgiveness is the solution after more pushing. That's what has no cost and is priceless. After everything Sharon done to her family, she tells her that this is absurd and that it would never happen. Sharon maintains that the objective appears to be for them to make apologies, while Phyllis says that this is dull and she keeps making lunges. Never say or mean, "I forgive you, Sharon. I would rather die and have rats gnawing at my rotting body," Phyllis says. While Phyllis swigs water and implies that Sharon is overanalyzing, Sharon resumes her efforts to decipher the hints. The blonde ponders the possible reason. It seems as though their kidnapper wants to demonstrate their intelligence. They keep arguing, and Phyllis advises her to work out as well to build strength. They repeatedly recount what Sharon did to Daniel, and Phyllis maintains that she has yet to accept responsibility. She will never be forgiven. That could be the only option, according to Sharon. "I could just tell a lie, but I think the freak will figure it out," Phyllis adds. She gasps that she feels queasy and collapses over. Phyllis fears that she may have been poisoned. Sharon announces their need for assistance over the intercom. She should begin searching for the antidote, the voice says. They imply that because Phyllis declined to participate the game, she has been poisoned. Sharon looks while Phyllis groans on the couch. "Even though you cannot see me, I am the beginning and the end," the voice says in another mystery. Sharon examines the pillows. Phyllis apologizes to Sharon for what she said while sobbing over her burning tummy. Sharon believes the remedy is a bottle of water with a sticker on it. Nick stops by Billy's and inquires as to whether Phyllis has connected with anyone. Billy has called those numbers already. They both agree that something is amiss. They sit and attempt to work things out, insisting on a drink. Billy acknowledges that he was slow to acknowledge that Phyllis was in serious danger. That's a common thought, according to Nick. Nick is beginning to believe that kidnapping may actually happen. The abbot asks, "How certain are you that Ian Ward is actually dead?" Given this, Nick acknowledges it's the first name that sprang to mind. However, he is certain that he is dead. He was cremated. Nick doesn't think it's the work of a crazy person. They believe that the women are together and that their hostility is at its highest point ever. Neither of them, in Nick's opinion, was provoked to seek retribution. Kidnapping is therefore likely. Nick is finding it more and more difficult to refrain from going out and hitting stuff. It's been challenging, and this has made things much more difficult. Every time he believes the family is getting back on track, something goes wrong. Even if it doesn't make sense, it's difficult to avoid blaming himself. It's difficult, but he's trying to keep everything together for the kids. Billy tells him to relax since he's been the pillar of support for everyone. They acknowledge the irony of banding together in an attempt to assist Phyllis and Sharon. Nick informs him that now is not a time for bonding as he gets up. Security calls from the ranch. After reviewing their video, they have no leads. Nick is leaving to see how everyone is doing. "Have you yet to join our Facebook groups for soap spoilers?" In our groups, which are devoted to recaps, spoilers, rumors, gossip, and comings and goings, you may converse with other soap lovers who share your interests. Visit our Canadian Day Ahead Recaps group, Young and Restless. According to the Young and the Restless recap for Monday, March 10th, Sharon Newman will conduct a desperate hunt for a cure for poisoned Phyllis Summers. While in prison, Sharon will ponder the most recent puzzle and become irate when Phyllis won't divulge the solution she discovered. Phyllis will eventually concede that forgiveness is the one thing that is cost-free and worth everything after much argument. Phyllis, on the other hand, will think the idea absurd and claim that she would sooner die there than ever truly forgive Sharon. Phyllis will exercise and drink a glass of water as well, but she will soon get quite sick. Phyllis will snuggle up on the couch and confess that she feels like her stomach is burning after complaining of the sickness. The distorted voice will advise Sharon to start searching for the antidote while she begs the captor for assistance. Since Phyllis is refusing to cooperate, the abductor would argue that maybe she is dying and that he is fulfilling his previous threat. Although you can't see it, the captor will give you an indication that it's the beginning and the conclusion when Sharon pushes for a clue. Sharon will discover that water could be the solution after looking everywhere in the room. Since the water is transparent and the cause of Phyllis' symptoms, Sharon will believe that it is also the cause of their cessation. Sharon would guess that the bottle with the sticker on it is what Phyllis needs and encourage her to drink it. On Monday's Y&R episode, Nick Newman will visit Billy Abbott's house and acknowledge that there haven't been any fresh developments about Sharon and Phyllis. Nick will acknowledge that he phoned the mortuary and obtained proof that Ian Ward was cremated because Billy would question how convinced he is that Ian is dead.